Hey guys, Crazy Dave here. So, I picked myself up a nice digital True GDM26 EM. Well, it's a little dirty, so let me show you how dirty it is, and then I'm gonna try to walk you through the process of what I do to sanitize it and clean it and get it ready for dry aging. Stay with me, you're watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Well guys, one of the first things you notice is this thing is like filthy dirty. I mean, that's a sticky. Apparently this came from a Chinese restaurant and they had beer bottles in it, and I think some of the beer bottles might have exploded. But what I'm doing right now is I took off the lamp assembly because I'm going to test out the lighting over here. But most importantly, look up there. That is the condenser fan, and that is filthy dirty. So I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this condenser up here, taking off all these little screws right here. I'm going to drop this down, look inside that, clean it up, and sanitize it. Okay guys, so I took out all these little screws and I dropped the condenser fan shield here, and looking up in there, it's really not that bad. I'm still going to spray it down with my commercial grade sanitizer. I got to really clean that fan housing over here. But in order to get this out, I've got to remove these two screws right here that hold the light switch in. I don't want to take the actual light switch plug off, or if I do, yeah, I don't know if I trust myself taking those off because I don't think I'm going to get them back on here. But we're going to remove these screws right here, and that way this releases right here, and that will allow me to take this out, and I'll be able to clean all up in here and up in this pan here. Well, stay with me. You're watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Okay guys, so I went ahead and removed the condenser fan shield. There's the wires over in the upper right corner. There's the fan. Man, look how dirty that is. But overall, if we just turn this around a little bit and kind of like zoom out, you'll see that the overall condenser really is not that bad. Quite surprising for this actually being in a working Chinese restaurant environment with all the grease and stuff that gets all over the place and it's in the air, that this really isn't that bad. Okay guys, so now I took off the front grill, and you can see that if you look in here, that's filthy dirty. So we're going to use the shop vac and clean that up really good. We're also going to use a little bit of a degreaser and sanitizer to clean it up. We're going to blow all that out, and then look right there. Wow, now that is one heck of a dirty compressor fan right there. We're going to get that baby cleaned up, and I guarantee you this baby's going to run really, really smooth. Well, stay with me.
Hey guys, a little coffee bean here. Today I'm going to help my dad clean the compressor coils in the new fridge that we got with this brush thing. We're just going to rub it against it to get all that dust out of it.
Okay guys, so we just got done cleaning the condenser coils and the condenser, or I should say not the condenser, but the evaporator coils and the evaporator fan. Look how clean that is. That's really beautiful. I scrubbed down the cabinet here. I used a little bit of bleach and water. Just kind of scrubbed it down really, really good. I threw some bleach down this tube here to make sure that's clean. Scrubbed the cabinet down, cleaned the side walls, and if you remember, that floor was horrible. Well, I'm still working on this floor here, but check that out. That's pretty cool. And a little coffee bean did a really super good job at cleaning the compressor coils here. And there you go. Well, I'm gonna keep working on this thing and eventually put it to test. Well, you remember that fan cover that was completely black? Well, look at that. It's actually white. And on the reverse side, it's actually chrome. It's clean. Well, there you go. That looks beautiful. Well, I'm gonna dry it off, and then we're gonna put this machine back together. Okay guys, so now we're going to continue to build this Coke Machine dry age fridge. Well, we just did the test on it and it did pass the minimum requirement and it holds the temperature exactly as we have set. So what am I doing over here? Well, up here in its back corner here, if you can see this, turn around, I decided to put the UVC tube up here in the back. Right here in the back, this is where the condenser blades are. This is like the air intake. So I decided to put it up there because, you know, it's kind of up, it's hidden, it's out of the way. And I'm going to drop the cords pretty much along the right side here. And what I'm interested in is right here at the bottom is a drain hole. I think I'm going to remove this and use this so I can basically pull all the cable up into the dry age fridge, because I doubt that there's going to be any water that's going to collect down there at that plug. Now that is not the main drain plug for the evaporator. That is actually this right here. Well, stay with me, you're watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen, as we convert this Coke machine into a dry aging machine. Okay guys, so I ran the extension cord that I'm gonna wire up here through the hole here, and no, it was no fun. I had to use a little bit of the Dawn soap over here to lubricate the hole, and I used a snake and I fed that wire right through. But now I'm gonna go ahead and splice into this. These are the 3 wires here. And I'm going to go ahead and add this little connection here that we basically wire up, and we're going to turn it into an actual plug here. But for some reason, I think I got the wrong plug, because that should be a female plug. Well, time to continue this one after I go to the store and get another plug. Okay guys, so I have a small electrical problem here in that True Coca-Cola machine, and I took off the control panel here because I smelled something burning. Well, guess what it was? Right here. See that? Look at that. Beautiful, isn't it? Well, I started to kind of rewire it, bypass it, and I started to trace the wires, like, you know, this blue wire here came out of the harness over here. Let's see here. See right here, this blue wire? And I matched it up with the cord over here, and it comes out to be one of these black cables here that I just snipped off. So basically, I'm just gonna bypass this little harness here and hook them up with these little wire connectors here. And these are the kind of projects that I find myself getting into every time I get one of these coolers, whether it be the Monster fridge, my True GDM12, or now this Coca-Cola machine. They all seem to have some kind of electrical problems within them, and I'm not even an electrician, and I'm colorblind, or at least shade colorblind. But I seem to be doing a okay job at fixing these things up, I guess. Well, this is Crazy Dave here. I'm going to turn the camera off so I can use both of my hands while I do the electrical rewiring of this harness here, and I'll be right back. You're watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Well guys, there's the culprit. Let's see if we can grab this thing. Look at that. That's one of the pins. That thing melted. And that's the inside of it. Man, I mean, it melted it all the way through. Look at that. Wow. Well, come to find out, what causes this thing to melt is when you try to change the light bulb on these True refrigerators and you don't turn off the switch, it actually, for some reason, it's almost like a short, and it does this. It melts the wire. And I started researching it. It is in the True manual. It's not really well written, but it is there, that tells you to turn the lights off before you change the light bulb. So guys, if you have a True refrigerator, if you don't want to deal with something like this that could possibly cause a house fire, please make sure always turn off the lights on that refrigerator if you're going to be changing the bulbs. Okay, now let's look up over here. This is pretty much what I ended up doing, the wiring, and you can see I added those little quick connectors to it. I ran the wire back through the hole here. You can kind of see a little bit there, and it goes right back into this electrical box here. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put the cover back on, and we're gonna fire this baby up and see if the lights work and see if I don't blow the house up. You're watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen, stay tuned. Well guys, the cooler's plugged in. I just heard it kick on. And now we're gonna go up here and turn this little light switch on over here and see whether or not I get lights. Hey, look at that. I've got bright lights into the cooler. The cooler seems to be running okay. There you go, there's that beautiful sound there of the cooler running. There's the digital display lighting up. And there's the box. I think Crazy Dave did a pretty good job at electrical wiring. Well, let me give you a rundown here real quick since we got this thing open. Right now I'm doing some electrical work down here at the bottom. And I ran my UVC wire all the way in the back here. And let's see if we can go up here. And I pretty much ran it all the way back up here somewhere where I think you can see it. It's kind of somewhat hidden back there. It's there, trust me. It's there. There it is. So it's kind of hidden right there in the back where the evaporator is. And that's what's going to happen. Now this light here, this one right here where my fingers is, I converted that to a 4-foot LED bulb. I don't think I'm going to be using it that much because I got the UVC in there, and I was going to put a UVC in, but because that's on the door, I didn't think that was a good idea. I want that UVC light to be somewhat hidden. Well, here you go. This is the Coca-Cola True GDM26 being modified into a beautiful meat agent. You're watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Okay guys, so what am I doing next? I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to wire this unit up and try to keep all the cables organized. But I did pick up this kind of cool box from Amazon, and what it does is kind of a waterproof, weatherproof kind of box here. And I'm gonna have all the cords in here, all the power cords for the UVC, the USB, the beautiful little LED black light over there in the back, and I'm running it all through this box. And the cords come out these little things right here, and this lid goes on it, and it kind of seals it shut and keeps the moisture and everything else out. So I'm gonna give this a shot and see what happens. I'm gonna put the lid on right now, but as you can see so far, it's looking really, really super nice. Okay guys, so now the Coke Machine dry age fridge is pretty much set up. Now I haven't added the fans yet, I'm working on that. And right now I put the sensor push in here along with my humidity gauges. And I'm about ready to fire this baby up, make sure it can do the 3637 that I have it programmed previously. But that's pretty much about it. I'm just going to go ahead and turn this baby on and get it going, because eventually the stuff over here in my True GDM12 is going to be moved over to the GDM26. Well, there you go. Okay guys, so we're at the second day of getting this True Coke Machine here set up, or testing it out and getting it ready to actually acquire the meat load from the GDM12 over here. Well, one of the things I had to do is download this. Yep, that's the manual. And look at this thing. This thing's got, I mean, all kinds of crazy data. Look at this. This is like the controller stuff. All this crazy stuff. Look at this, the password here. Check this out. you got to press this button, then you got to press it again 3 more times, then you come all the way over here. If I can change this page here, check this out. You got to press it 2 times for the up arrow, 3 times for the down arrow, 4 times for the defrost button before you get to this menu, and then you have access to your controller. Now that's crazy, man. And I thought I was. No, that Coke machine is really crazy. Well, check this out. We got the digital display here now showing the internal temperature of the cabinet at 36 degrees. Over here on this shelf, 37. Up here is showing 36. On the top shelf, we got, if I can get it right, about 35. And then over here, this one is also 35. Well, this thing right now, it's holding temperatures really good. I did hook up the ink push, or I mean, sorry, the sensor push to it, so I can kind of graph it here. And it's been pretty steady. So now I'm going to go ahead and start taking apart the GDM12 over here and start transporting all this meat over to the GDM26. Well, you're watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Welcome back to Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Well, guys, the meat has been transferred over to the GDM26 here. And you'll see I've got 4 blocks of salt down at the bottom. I've got that oscillating fan going on over there. And the temperature's a little high because, you know, I would transfer the meat. I'm not worried about it. It's going to transfer back or settle back down. But now it's time that this workhorse, the True GDM12, that has worked so hard for the past couple of months, finally goes to sleep and hopefully finds a new home very soon, and hopefully back into the dry aging world, because this baby was an amazing, amazing machine. Well, it's time to shut this baby down. So here we go. First thing we're going to do is turn off that UVC light up here. And now it's off. Second thing we're going to do is just go ahead and unplug this baby. Then we're going to go ahead and clean it up and put it out to the pasture and put those sale ads up, because it's time for this one to go. You're watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen.